So what does that mean? It started. It's your first closing. Then I got the main need of your first closing and that's it's your meeting all the time, right? What you're doing. A lot of people are Iran is coming in right now. I love that.
God's still tall. It's okay.
I was going to do something this morning. Anybody out there outside of having your birthday was last week? Yeah. Oh, yeah, do it. Okay, we're going to I started the same thing happened. That was my whole thing. I told myself, say, and that's her birthday to know this. Well, I want to say happy birthday to both. Yeah. I do videos and I was out of range and I'm like, wait a minute, I got to just tell them personally. Happy birthday. Here's my yesterday and you're doing about see, what's going on in this world. Happy birthday. Hope you had a great one. That's all I want to say that first. Thanks. Good. Thank you for being here today. And I want to know this Thanksgiving week. Today is the day of gratitude. Let's go talk about some gratitude. And listen, this is very interactive. What you do in here is what you're doing out there. So somebody. Okay, I'm gonna go ladies first, I'll go to Ashley.
I'm so thankful for everyone who came out and helped us celebrate our grand opening last week. Y'all support means the world to me. So thank y'all for being there and celebrating. We're happy to be right across the hall.
You know, it's called the person you're right, and thank you for what's not for you. It was amazing. And I think what was really cool for those that noticed, they should have other Oakland joint offices. Once they shut down for the day, they all came to support you. And that was cool. I love that. I think that's good that you're supporting each other and launching the new office. It is beautiful, and we're excited for you and the opportunity of having the office.
Yeah, I'm thankful. I'm going to visit relatives I haven't seen in about 3 years with COVID and the same year.
Yeah, look at how the temperature charge. I'm sure everybody's down. With the COVID the last couple of years, we were all these next couple of days. So have a safe flight and have fun fighting the black crowd. That's really important. Somebody else.
Hey, thankful for Enrique. He's always the man with answers and patience and just a great leader.
I totally agree with you. I second that. It doesn't matter. I think like that, you know, and I feel like every day on my little, I don't know what all the same the same weekend. So we're like honest with you. But we know what it's like when we didn't have Enrique. So now that you have Enrique, you're not spoiled. You're like, oh wow, this is fantastic. He's answering questions, and he's willing to do that. He's willing to do what it takes for you. Now here's the crazy part. Now make sure when I say this, I already shared it with him. And it was a weird thing. I was trying my green last night. The same green. Oh, you're gonna have the same greens. Okay, yeah, well, okay, I'll speak. And he wanted to take our mom for the spin, and I'm like, well, and I'm like, what did you, sleep cheaper than they would be from the money he did. That's a German waterfall, so it's cool. It's fun, really fun.
Did you let him borrow the car?
Yes.
And I took it long drive with it.
Yeah, you get like, that's a little bit better. Yeah, it's crazy, it's crazy. Summer.
Want to do a shout out to Hunter. We had our close last week where the appraisal was 40,000 over the price. He actually showed up to the closing as well. He was there with us, and the listing agent gave him gratitude, saying he was the best ever. Like updated the listing agent as the homes go.
We get to the, right, and you see that, I think somebody had a fire seminar this weekend too.
Yep.
And,
Acoustic.
okay, another, something else, you didn't say that with them, right? And Hunter was here, I saw him on social media, right? But think about you, and you showing up for the buyers, and you have the listing, or you have the buyer, and the other agent doesn't show up. And they see you come in with this wonderful gift, and you're really taking care of your clients. What do you think if their agent has been disconnected the whole time? What do they think they're gonna think about you? Right? Think about those things. You don't think Hunter went, I know he loves you and he appreciates you, but he has a bigger picture. He knows when he goes in there. He wants to affect the whole room. Even the attorney. Hey, call this guy. He's the bomb. Exactly.
Well, thank you. I was gonna say Kusto did a great job too. Got it off market for the client. We went under contract in like 12 hours. And like you said, that's $40,000 over the list price. So he did a great job as well. So I appreciate it.
So this is my time for all of you. If you really want to get really accountable, him and Mike have $1,000 on the line. Austin is involved in that as well. And he just passed Michael. I do a top-down report and I show who's in the lead, and he just passed him. But I came home last night. I didn't even know Mike has another one under contract. I can, because you know, if y'all know me as a great dad I am, I'm like, you're getting your tail kicked. Yes, sir.
Just thought I'd share, Custo is a little over $600 away from capping.
Yep. We can go on, gratitude. I'm thankful for all of y'all. I still get to do this on a weekly, daily basis with y'all and be in business with you, and it's a blessing. So thank you, thank you. That is very thankful for y'all. All right, and anybody on Zoom land, you are more than welcome to chime in when you would like to. But let's we're going to move forward now to. We got now. I didn't know you guys. Oh yeah, so here's QR code. You're gonna press that first bar so they can get to the QR code.
Yep.
If you wanted to, with our partnership with the mortgage and title company, mortgage streams of income, you have to be accredited. There's some other things, but click on that. It'll give you the end to give us interest, because even if you don't qualify this time, there will be more opportunities in the future, and that's why we're building this, so that we'll know who's out there. And I would think that everybody would click on that.
That's the same the Google link that we got over email.
Yeah. So you already got that. Thank you. All right. Scan this code. Okay, go ahead. Next. Okay, well, come on down, rock star.
Woo-hoo.
Morning.
Ready for some good food and some relaxation coming up?
Yeah.
Unplug and unwind for a little bit. So I'm thankful that I think the heat is maybe back on in the door. That is really good stuff. Those of us that were here yesterday, we know that was not true yesterday. So thank goodness for that. But Ashley Connor with O'Kelly and Sora, and this morning I wanted to talk a little bit about assumptions. I know Hunter did a class on that last week, so if you're there, you heard a little bit about that, but that's such a hot topic right now. I wanted to kind of go over a couple of things with y'all in team meeting. So the first thing that I want y'all to know, that there's kind of two ways you'll hear about it being done. One is correct, one is not correct. So the correct one is called a novation. And what that is when the actual lender who has the mortgage is going to approve of a borrower taking over the current loan. So the amount of loans that actually allow for formal assumption or novation are kind of few and far between. So FHA, VA, the occasional variable rate mortgage, a conventional fixed is almost never going to be assumable. So know that the opportunity window is kind of slim, so it has to qualify. The actual closing disclosure will say whether it's assumable. I think it's on page 3, maybe 4 of the closing disclosure. I'll say, is this one assumable? And then the next box will say yes or no. But that's what a formal assumption is the lender with currently has the loan will qualify this new buyer, and then they just kind of step into the shoes as the current borrower. Okay, they take over that loan as is. What's not a legitimate way to do it is like a wraparound mortgage, or you might hear it called a simple assumption. Simple doesn't make it legit, not legit, okay? And what that would, the way that's structured, and I say what that would look like, it's not gonna look like that because we're not gonna do it, but what people have in mind is they don't tell the current lender that another buyer is coming in and assuming the loan. And so that's problematic for a couple reasons. First, the security deed has what's called a due on sale clause. And what that means is if the property is sold to someone else, the lender can call the whole loan due. So if the lender finds out, they're gonna say, hey, the whole loan's due, which is why we pay off the mortgage when we close in a standard closing, right? The big problem for your seller though, is that their name is still on that loan. So if the new buyer doesn't pay that loan that your seller's name is on, that foreclosure is gonna go on your seller's record. Not a safe way to do it, right? It's not awesome for the buyer, because most of the time, the way it's structured is that the buyer pays the seller, who then turns around and pays this mortgage on this property that they don't own anymore. So what if the seller just doesn't send in the money? Now your buyer could lose the house, right? Because even though the foreclosure is on the seller's record, the bank is still taking the house, regardless of who owns it or lives in it, etc. So know to be very careful with a simple assumption or a wraparound mortgage, anything like that. We're not going to do that closing because we represent the lender. And so for us, even though we don't represent in a certain transaction the seller's lender, as a whole, it's not great for us to be like cutting the lender out and going behind their back to do these kind of simple assumptions. So be careful on that. The reason it's a hot topic is because everyone who, bought or sold a house in the last few years has this great interest rate. With them being higher, people are saying, well, hey, let's showcase that we have this, 2.85 interest rate, and now you get 7. So why don't you just assume my mortgage? And if it's assumable, great. But know too that there's going to probably be some equity built in, that your buyer's either going to have to take out a second mortgage to cover, or they're going to have to bring in cash. So lots of things to think about. If y'all have questions, feel free to give me a call, but I really wanted to point out the legitimate versus not legitimate, because we get those questions.
It's funny, I've been in this business 20 years, and I always say when you pass your real estate exam, forget everything you learned. And you just said novation, and I have not heard that word in 20 years.
Right?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Heard that.
It's rare, it's a hot topic
Right.
right now, but nobody's actually doing it because the pool of possibility is so small. And then on top of that, the buyers who actually either have the funds and the ability to qualify for that second mortgage is even smaller. So everyone talks about doing it, but nobody's really doing it.
Well, thank you for that.
Of course.
Okay, so hey, I am thankful the heat is on. I want to make sure I say this out loud. When I take my jacket off, there are a lot of scars on my arm because me and my dermatologist had a field day with the nitrogen tank. So just to make sure y'all know that. So I just want to say all that. We go, what is Mike got all these places on? But that is why and why. So, but I'm good. Thank God for them. All right. Okay. Shelter, come on down. And I'm dying. So that is good. Morning.
Morning.
Everybody ready for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? We're realtors. We eat and we drink.
It's true.
Food was so good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Celebration, what's the wonder about that? I think this is Terry's under, but boy, was the food unbelievable. Wow,
Crazy good this year.
crazy good.
All right, I'll start. So the 10th of November, I think shock occurred around the world. Rates pulled down as close to 7.375 down to 6.6 to 6.7. Last week, we actually saw the market stabilize. We didn't see any major movement, which is fantastic. That's not something that we've been accustomed to this year. It's been all over the place and a very good indicator. One thing that's important to know, what stopped the rates from continuing to go down? What ended up happening is the Fed president came out and stated that they believe that the ceiling has actually increased to where they need to increase the Fed fund rate. So this basically stopped interest rates from continuing to cool down. A lot of good news, obviously, the inflation numbers coming out, CPI and PPI, that's a great indicator. Second piece is that shipping costs are starting to decrease, which has a massive effect on inflation numbers. So every time we're seeing stuff that has an effect on inflation, that's a positive sign that rates could continue to pull down. So we'll just keep watching the market there. One thing I also wanted to bring up, the October buyer share came out. First time home buyers are still the leading buyer in the market as of October, 28%. Cash buyers were 26% and investors were 16%. So just make sure the marketing that you guys are doing, these first time home buyers can still feed your family. So make sure you're marketing.
And to kind of parlay off of what Matt just said, so our home ready product, the maximum income for 1 or 2 borrowers is $76,560, and those interest rates are actually 0.5 point to 0.75 point better than a regular 30-year fix. And the MI quotes have come down, so this is a great way if you have clients who are making less than $75,000 or $76,000 in yearly income, for them to obtain a better interest rate, lower MI, so therefore a lower monthly payment. And then what he said about investors, still 16% of the market share is investors. I think that's great information to relay to people who are scared to buy a home, because if 1/6 of the market is being made up by institutional investors who are just your everyday investor, I think that still shows that there's a lot of positivity in the market, and that real estate is still a great investment.
Yeah, that investment product that Sunday night is for the dollars, 35,000. Actually walking in. I love this home ready product, and they just improved the pricing. That's why I wanted him to talk about it. It's 3% down. We have 2 3% products. One, you have to be a first time home buyer, and it's above market. This, you don't have to be a first time home buyer, and it's priced below market, the rate and the mortgage insurance. You've got to do like a little class online, but that's an awesome product. We have a new one too, another one. It's called the Great Rescue and Rollback. It's something similar that the company that goes to the moon is talking about. But it basically is, we can lend or pay a 1-year buy down. We talked about, right? A 2-year buy down. This is a 1-year buy down. And if they refinance, the fees for the refinance get waived. They have to do it by close on the purchase by March 31st, 2023, and they have to refi by December 31st, 2024. So it's about 1,500 savings in the refinance right off the top. And just for an example, if you did it today, 30-year would be 6.625. And the first year, they would have the payment at 5.625. Wow. So they still qualify for higher, but it's a $260 savings per month for the buyer. So we'll get this out for y'all. I think it's a really good promotion that y'all can call some for.
Yeah, I think that if you see, let's go ahead to the moon with the rocket, that you have no one there to work with you. They're right here with you, going to closings, or how going to closings with you. They don't show up, and when they do have a commercial, text either one of them, all 4 of them, say, hey, or any one of them say, hey, this is what they said. What are we doing to combat that? These are your partners in business, and they will help you.
I was just thinking about what a great touch that would be for, like, my daughter is 25 and she's already purchased, but for her sphere, like if you have kids and they're getting to the age of buying, I mean, that's a great product right now. 75% income. That's pretty amazing.
We're excited.
Can you repeat those percentage, first time home buyers and so forth?
Yes, 28% first time home buyer, 26% cash, 16% investors.
All right, thank you.
So that's interesting, and not that I would take you guys out of business, right? But The cash people didn't go away. We stopped the frenzy. Why are we still not reaching out? Like, what interest rate is a cash buyer? Zero. Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, they're zero. And you're saying they're still there. And we don't want them, we want them to be homeless, right? I mean, there's better things to do with their money.
How much does somebody who makes 75,000 a year though qualify for the purchase price per home? Very low.
That's a great question. It depends on their debt load.
Say they have zero debt load. I mean, it still seems like that's a purchase price we have to be for a while,
If they have zero debt, it'd be around $3,000.
Which is,
which is not much.
what, probably 350?
I thought it was
370 bucks. Yeah.
It's condos. Okay.
Yeah.
First time home buyer.
Just because it's like $6,000 or so a month, so they're monthly, yeah, it can go up to like 2,800, 3,000, depending on their credit profile.
Okay.
Taking those kids who are 23 and 26 and, you know, they're paying rent. And that was a great catch we talked about on Saturday at, Hunter's, home buyer seminars. Like, a great catch is to send someone their, say, if you're renting, send me your rent payment. I'll send you some listings that you could own for that price. We talked about that. That was a great catch. Yeah.
That's a great one.
Isn't that a good catch? Somebody, you did that already?
Yeah. Appreciate you as well. I did appreciate you. A lot of
So.
benefits. Yeah.
That was a great touch that came out of that class, but you will see on the table in front of you, we're doing the market forecast again in January. I know it's a little far out, but you do have to register for this. It's only on Zoom. If you did this last year, you know what an amazing hour that is. So thinking that. We have coffee talk still going on in December, the 5th and the 12th. One of my favorite things, we have the ugly holiday Christmas sweater team meeting on December 13th. There are going to be some great prizes for a lot of our vendor partners. We're sponsoring a Kelly's guard changes class, which is the CE on 12/15 as well. And then today we also have a prize to be awarded for the video contest. You will see that there's a blank piece of paper in front of you. And so you can just write, Mickey's gonna play them all. There's only 3 entries.
Sure.
Yeah, and then you vote and then send them to the back and the winner will be awarded.
You need to be careful with that. Not everybody's 21.
Oh, that's true. I see who's not. That's okay.
They are back.
Mine
All
is now, but.
right, let's go.
We're still playing them?
Hit it.
Here we go.
He's got like 30,000.
Yes, oh my gosh, he's been killing it.
It's pretty fun. We're going to be one in the office. I'm happy.
Here we go.
We're having this one.
That's Tony and Allison.
It's not popping up. Let me figure out what's going on.
Okay, we'll do song and dance for a minute. Since we does that.
Me, see what? The practice is, I'm sorry, Renee. It's okay. Try to share.
As we're doing this, did everybody enjoy the Thanksgiving? We talked about that. Did everybody, if you missed it, you missed a good one. And I would love to make sure that you put that on your calendar to be here for the Thanksgiving piece, because it is a lot of fun. We're gonna be talking about Christmas.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
I want to take just a quick minute of your time because we've been talking about how things are going in the market. And one of the sayings that we have here in the office is who you're in business with matters. I want to thank you for being in business with me and allowing me to sell your house. I am in business with Hunter here. Hunter, we work together and I depend on him to give me all the great information about rates in the market and how I can get your home sold as quickly as possible. So I'm going to turn it over to Hunter, let him tell you about interest rates, where they currently stand, and how that can affect how your house is on the market, how long it'll be on the market, and other things. So, Hunter?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And as everyone knows, interest rate's a hot topic right now. So they're hovering right around the 7.125 mark after a positive day yesterday, a positive day today on Tuesday, the 25th. And with that being said, I know the average market rate is 7.125. However, there are a ton of products and programs you can utilize to get that rate down, whether it be the 2-to-1 buy down, whether that be an ARM product, or whether it's just a, you know, buy down of the interest rate from seller concessions. So I think the one main thing is, like you said, who you're in business with matters. So it matters if your house is priced correctly. It matters what seller concessions are put into it. And a lot of things that people don't know would be that seller concessions are actually a way bigger help to the purchaser than a price reduction. So a lot of people think that, oh, the house isn't selling at $650, let's drop it to $625. Well, you might actually be better off going $640 with $15,000 in seller concessions, where it's the same net to the seller of the home in that case. Yeah. So it's all about, like you said, who you're in business with. It does matter. What information you're getting does matter, and I think it's still a great time to buy a home. As far as selling your home goes, I think still it's a great time to sell your home as well. Prices are still appreciating. You know, borrowers are still looking to get into a home, and inventory is still at about 3 months supply, which means we're still in a seller's market. So still a great time to list your home as long as it's listed at the correct price. So like you said, who you're in business with does matter.
Who you're in business does matter. This is Hunter Lee with Shelter Mortgage, and just to give you a quick info tip on selling your house.
He's hiding.
You did it.
You know, not comfortable, I know, he had to carry it up.
You're gonna want one of these.
What does it help with?
Everything. You're gonna want one of these.
What does it help with?
Everything. You're gonna want one of these.
What does it help with?
Everything. You're gonna want.
And let me figure out what's going on, whether you need us, or maybe just a second.
One of the things we wanted to point out to you guys is like how easy this is to do. I mean, it just, I know that, it's a little fearful sometimes to start, but it doesn't have to be perfect, and, obviously it gets a lot of traffic.
How many have seen Matt's first video when they running the
Busy real,
Yeah.
see that one?
Wow. Instagram?
Yeah.
Do we know?
Yeah.
I think it's.
You can on Facebook too. You put it on it.
Yeah.
He posts everything on that.
Yeah.
I think.
For me,
It'd be fun to follow him or.
separately, I think for some reason this computer's not playing it, but I can hook it up to my phone probably. So give me just a second. We'll figure it out. We'll get back to Nina's in a second.
Yeah. Let's move on the show, and then we'll come back. So remember Tony, and remember Allison and Stanley, and I guess it's the next one with you.
That's with Nina and Hunter.
Oh, we're gonna keep going, so I want to keep going until, tomorrow, if I got travel plans. So, Kelly, thank you for your sponsorship. I don't know if Kelly's here, she's been here a lot lately. Nutrient Home Warranty and Oak Insurance in Dolan. I want to thank Kim for their continued support of the office as well. That's okay. So does it fit? Ruth, you want to come up?
Okay.
What you got for us today? We had a trouble.
Well.
Oh,
As far as I'm aware, it's trouble, but I just want to tell you, you get in trouble.
Don't call you.
Let somebody know, because we have E&O insurance, but if you let it go on for a year or so and you didn't tell somebody that you're being sued, E&O insurance may not cover it. Okay? So be sure, if you get in problem, somebody starts telling you, we're gonna sue you because what you did, and then they let it go a couple of months, and then they call you, they're gonna sue you. You need to let somebody know, because when you hear those words sue, those are scary words. And people will maybe wait a year or so and sue you, but you didn't ever tell anybody you're being sued. So I can't do anything about it except try to help you, and we do have, insurance. There's a $500 deductible, so try not to get sued because you don't want to get rid of $500. But even so, it's important that you do that. The other thing, I'm just thinking on the way in here, and I know we're starting in the season of giving. And I don't have any particular charity, there are plenty of charities out there, but as I was driving today, I heard about somebody saying, children whose parents are incarcerated. And can you imagine waking up on Christmas morning and not having a gift from mom and dad? And there's a charity that you can do that.
It's prison fellowship. So if you are thinking, you don't know where you want to put your good money, I would suggest that you give some money to them because they're on charity. And that is a big need because there are a lot of people who are incarcerated. And they probably weren't good parents to start out with, but for a child, just think about having something that says, love, mom, and dad.
There you go. I love it. Thanks for sharing that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would-
I know. Yeah. Thank you. I'm also gonna share, listen, when someone calls me and the first thing they say to me, or we're having a conversation, and they say that I'm a lawyer, or I'm gonna get a lawyer, or anytime that I stop the conversation. And I say, I no longer can speak to you. And please have your lawyer call mine, it'll kill us, and I stop it, like I don't have no more conversation. Y'all don't either. Once I mention that, it's kind of a threat, just stop it, and we'll have that, and then it really stops it, they don't, because then they know, oh, wait a minute, I should not step in that anthill. And they won't do it, so anyway, we'll add that into yours, thank you. All right, do you have it?
You know what, I can pull it up on this.
So you keep going, I'll keep going, and the show must go on. Lucy is not here, but if you have any questions or thoughts on your social media, and I'll bring Enrique up, because he's gonna talk about something that Lucy can be a big part of, that I want everybody to be involved with. Now, can you go to him? We gotta get that video, we'll get that video at some point, we're good. While I'm interviewing our guest today, you'll do that, go ahead.
Good morning. So, questions, let's see. Now, before you start looking at the screen without the, and you say, oh my God, more numbers, right? Because that's what you always bring. I said, let's not do numbers this time, we'll do a next. So I thought I'd show you the year to date so far, in my favorite units. Can we do that?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So show me the first one if you don't mind. This is how the year started, right? This is how drunk we were from 2020 and 2021. I can do it, I'll sell your house, I'll blink and your house will be sold, right? Was that the case? Now, next one, if you don't mind, then this is what happened. So we're moving along, nothing's happening, we're telling you people, shit is coming, right? We've been telling that since February, people were like, you don't know what you're talking about, right? Show me the next one. This is the agents that came in 2021. What happened? Somebody threw a monkey wrench in the mix, right? And guess what? The rates went up. And all the predictors, everybody came out and said, look at this. This is 2023 mortgage predictions. Yeah, I even heard somebody saying 10%. Okay, well, guess what happens? The force was with us. Go to the next slide. And then buyers fight back with lower mortgage rates. Right? So we're back breathing and everything. Now, moral of the story. Matt, do you control the rates?
No, I wish I did.
How about Stanley? I think Stanley does, right?
She says she does.
Sure thinks that, I'm kidding. None of us control the rates. Right? What do we control? Right, what we convey, the message that we convey, how we interpret what the news and everything are talking about, right? To the clients. If we can calm down, show them what's going on, explain to them the good things and the bad things, then we can continue doing business as usual, right? Next slide, if you don't mind. Then we almost thought that we didn't have to worry about selling real estate anymore, right? There it is. And we're still here, so after that happened, and some lucky person in California got $2 billion. Which is probably, this is what we all got after that. This is the result that we all got. So, question, how do we do that? How do we go back to work? Lead gen.
Lead gen, back to basics.
One of the things, and this is something that is gonna be, we're gonna be talking much more about that. It's a new, I don't want to say it's a new campaign, it's a reinvented campaign. We're basically going back to the basics, if you think about it, right? So this is one of the things that we have, that we're gonna be laser focused on the rest of the year, next year, beginning of the year, all throughout 2023. Why? Could you tell us a little bit about the club 201?
Yeah, 201. 201 in your database, we know will result through all the data tests we've been doing, 116,000 GCI. So when I sit down with everybody, I want to make 100 grand. Okay, here's a simple way to do it. Add 201 to your database. Have that take your phone or however you want to do it, 200 people in command. Then we're going to attach that with a 36 touch plan. And the campaign is basically, I'm gonna go around every single agent in this office. And once we do it, we're gonna banners, we're gonna do a big thing around it, because I want each person to make 100 grand. And that's how we're gonna do this.
Now, we're not gonna be mad at you if you do more than 201.
I hope so. But I pulled up in the office who has that type of database, and it was 115. There's only 115 agents who have that, at least 201 in their database.
So that's a third.
Yeah,
Not everybody uses command.
say it again.
Not everybody uses command.
That is correct, that is correct, that is correct. So we're,
Cause I don't.
I know we've had that conversation, right? We're going to work on that. We're gonna work on that.
And why do we bring this back? Why is this a new topic, the old new topic? Because at the end of the day,
I like Club 201 better, you know, like we're gonna go to the party.
this is why.
Yep.
Right? What, we don't, what's the simplest thing that we can do? Let me show you the way that they explained to us. Let me see the next slide. Well, I guess I didn't make it, but anyway. So that's why I'm back. So guess what? Everybody said you need a CRM. What's this? You need the other. You need the latest and greatest, and this works, and command that's it better, and this that's a better than command. It doesn't matter. What really makes a difference is you reaching out to your database. You calling them and asking them for the business. That's what makes the difference. You think about it. I don't care how you do it. You want to use command, great. Awesome tools, we got the people that are gonna be teaching it, Lucy, Sam, myself. You can take advantage of that. You don't want to use command, that's okay. Pick up the phone and call the database. That's what it's all about. And this is the call to action. This is what we want. It's not just getting or cramming 201 people in your database, but having at least those 4 pieces of information. Full name, cell phone number, email address, and physical address. Why is that so important? Why is the last one so important? If they own a house, what are they to you? If they rent, what are they to you? Thank you. Next slide. And least but not least, I wanted to wish you guys Thanksgiving. I'm very thankful for all of you, for Chad North, for Mike, for the entire staff, and the welcome that I received throughout the year. I just couldn't, I couldn't begin to tell you. But I want to make sure that I give thanks to each one of you, especially to my DC agents and the vendors that support us. You guys do amazing, O'Kelly, Shelter. You take care of Chad North, the entire agent body. But I know you've been helping a lot with DC, and I really thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Outside of Zoom, but I don't know if you can see the front of my shirt, but no one in this room can see the front of my shirt. I have $5 if you can tell me what the front of my shirt said, and that's verbatim.
Get uncomfortable being uncomfortable.
Who said that?
Marianne.
Yeah. And who else has read my shirt since I've been standing up here? Raise your hand if you read my shirt. Yeah, you're scared to raise your hand. Raise your hand if you've read my shirt. KJ's like, I didn't, but I'm gonna raise it. I'm gonna challenge y'all. So I was sitting there reading what Allison had on. I see what Sandy has on. I see what Nia has on. You guys have got, and I see, yeah, but first cocktails, right? But you're a realtor, right?
Business is.
That creates a conversation, so I'll give you $5. So we're doing that. The reason behind that was I'm sitting here looking at all these shirts and seeing people doing, there you go, buy you some coffee. That's what it'll cost you. So, but what are you doing to advertise yourself? And that's what this is about, the 201. What are you doing where it's automated? Like you just had to put that shirt on today, right? Stand up, y'all stand up. Y'all just, I mean, you got to. I keep staring at your shirt. Show it by your shirt. Show them your shirt.
Stop it, Tuesday.
That is your walking billboard. You pay a lot of money for advertising, right? So that's my challenge to y'all in 2023. Remember 2023, this is the year of Michael Jordan. So you will see Michael Jordan all around here. The greatest of all time. I will debate you if you want to debate about that. He's never lost in the finals, by the way. So anyway, 23, Michael Jordan. I'll be wearing shirts all year long. Are you done? No, I love it. Happy. All right, listen, hey, classes here. Look at this, I'm moving along, I'm so happy with myself.
Yeah.
It's the little things. You're not here, so let's go ahead.
As Renee mentioned, we've got our ugly sweater contest on December 7th. That is going to be our team meeting here.
7 or 13?
Their sweater for the ugly sweater contest. Well, there's one hand up, and that is it, and that is a true.
I haven't asked, but what's for next?
The front date on the 13th. It's
I
the 13th.
believe that's last
Okay,
year's
you're on that flyer. It is the 13th. Marion Bright, our holiday Christmas party is coming up on December 8th from 6 to 10. It is at Country Club of Roswell. Bring somebody with you if you want to. It's a lot of fun. It's a great opportunity for us to hang out, relax, have fun with everybody, dance, food, drinks. Yes, sir.
What's the dress code?
It's fancy.
It's fancy, yeah, I mean, I wear a suit.
It's fancy and the food is amazing. We've got choices of salmon, chicken, or vegetable fettuccine. 2 cocktails are included with each ticket, and then it becomes a cash bar. There's a DJ. Very, very festive and very fun.
Roswell Country Club.
We're gonna have a photo shoot this year.
Tons of
You're
fun.
not saying $5 opportunities, you're saying.
No. $50 person, but you would stand out and look great.
Where do you come in Christmas tree?
Bring your candies.
I think, John Mahal, who remembers John, he's doing an officer here, young, he wore last year. Okay, so, there you answer your question.
A little bit of everything. Whatever you're comfortable in.
I'll never forget that, yes.
It is $30 a person, and if you're coming with a person, a guest, a date, it's $50 per couple. Please RSVP at the front desk. There's a little sign-in sheet. Also coming up, this is in December 7th. That's the right thing. What? Is the flyer for Andy and Leslie are doing a 36 touch program. It is a CE class. It is at the North Atlanta Market Center, but it ties in directly with what we're doing with the Club 201. As Renee mentioned, the economic outlook is coming up in January. Coming up also in January.
My favorite, y'all get tired of bold, so I'm gonna go right through it. And we start betting bold again. For those of you who are not in the top 20, we will start it again in January. There is no try. Either do it or you don't.
And even if you are in the top 20, you can still take it.
Oh, yeah.
Where is it? I don't know.
To
where
be
it's going
determined
be
if
yet.
Roswell's hosting it, so
Yeah.
they.
Yeah, I'm not sure. If your family is looking for Christmas ideas for you. This is by the book that is going to be at the Roswell Market Center. That is with Holly. She is fantastic. Also coming up, this is for your kids, the cute Quantum Leap Day for kids. That is for anyone 18 to 24. It's to get them in that business mind, to get them to run their life. Quantum Leap is a great opportunity.
Michael took that class, what, Michael Mulder, you took that class 3 or 4 years ago?
Yeah, like 4 years ago.
Oh, I was talking about it. Cool.
This year for our season of giving.
Yeah, I'm about to say, let's call her up. Let's give her the platform.
Yeah.
All right, Prairie, this year.
Oh, no, stop. I love interrupting people's honor. A big thank you.
Yeah.
I know, that, help me,
Family first.
no,
what you're
well,
talking about?
yeah, I'm just like blown away by that.
And
And
it's
how
today.
awesome Thanksgiving is. No, I wasn't really talking about Carrie, actually. Mona, Mona, I want to thank her for, working and making sure the Thanksgiving feast went off and all the volunteers who helped. Thank you. Now, I want Terry, what she did was phenomenal, and I'd like you to start with that and then go into that.
No, what you guys did was phenomenal. I was able to bring $1,600 in gift cards to Families First. They were absolutely blown away. They were so grateful. They just couldn't even believe it. When I partnered with them, they thought maybe we'd break $500 in gift cards. When I put up with $1,600 in gift cards and all the families that they can help with that, they were so grateful. So thank you guys so much for making so many families Thanksgiving a little bit easier this year, because those gift cards were super
I
valuable.
don't know what family, I don't know if family.
Family First helps Hispanic families throughout Gwinnett County, mostly in North Cross and Beach Street corners. Just who need a little bit of help. They mostly focus on people with younger children, preschool age children. They help with school supplies, so we are going to partner with them for Red Day as well, for school supplies and things like that. They try to teach them, they do parenting classes, prevent child abuse. And again, teach them that they are their children's first teachers. So they do try to get them into preschool for free, and provide school supplies. And it is, again, in our community, in our Gwinnett County immediate area. So it's just a great touch that we can partner with them. For the holiday season of giving this year, we are partnering again with Pure, the Planning Humane Society and North Cross Ministries. These QR codes will bring you directly to Amazon links, and it'll ask you, like, do you want to ship it to the person who created the list, and just say yes, or send it to the office. Pure has really tight deadlines, and they do need to have their collections all delivered by December 6th. So I need that by December 5th. So if you do Pure, you need to do that pretty quickly. To North Cross Ministries and Humane Society can get that anytime in December and get that to them. So thank you guys for participating in that. And for coming to the holiday party, because it is going to be super fun. If you don't want to do the Amazon wish list, you want to give me Zelle or cash, I will take that, and I will go shopping for you like Tony just did. So thank you, Tony, so much. He just gave me cash so I can shop for you, whatever makes it easier. We want to make it easy, but thank you guys for helping.
Yes. Closing's been done. Is the agent in the house today?
I believe she said she was gonna. Chanel, oh yeah, she's right there, okay, I was gonna say, yeah.
Come down. Come up here, man. This is your deal, man. This is making me so excited. He didn't know I was gonna do this today, or he did, we make sure she was here. So how was doing business with him? I mean, it was just great. I mean, like, tell us a little bit. Was that your first closing?
No, it was my first.
Oh, okay. Well, that's right. Okay.
It was the answer was very quick, and he was on top of everything, kept checking in with me and the client, which was from home.
Oh, yes. So did you know that I had put a contest out to the team? You know nothing about it.
I told her,
Yeah.
so I didn't say anything until we got up on closing, because I didn't want to jinx it, but I said afterwards, I was like, you got not only the check from closing, but you get $100 at $100.
Right, so did y'all know that I was doing that? I don't know if they can do that because federal guidelines. Yeah, so it's not gonna help, but he did such a great job. I just want to say thank you, congratulations, and I brought you $100.
Boom. Yeah.
Hey, no, hold on up, and you're taking a picture.
So just load your assets and all my $100.
And you don't get $100 every time you close with 100.
Mike, why don't you get in it too?
Matt, why you saying $100?
Get $100. Right?
Boom.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. Congrats on our project, man. That's your first.
You did a great job as well, yes.
He's like, "Look, I can't believe you do it." I'm like, "This is awesome, man." Okay, let's go. We got to work, don't we? Yeah. But then I got a big, so you just want to be patient. We're moving.
Terry and Nina.
Give me a second. I can.
Give me-
Whatever you want to do.
You know, when I interviewed this guy, that bring it up, then you find it, and then bring it in. Okay, here we go. Let's go to awards. And I gotta give away some good stuff either. Right? So where are we at? Are we gonna do this again? Why don't I have a sheet?
You have the.
Okay, so listen to this close volume for the month. I like to celebrate. You did $1 million. That's $30,000 last month. Lona's first one, she did 3.2 million. When you drop it off the market, you gotta get it up, right? Like, okay, Carlos, 2.9 million. Sheila, I don't know if she's on Zoom here. Sheila, 2.2 million. Yeah. Patty Strong, she's in the magazine, 1.6 million. Ron Maxwell, 1.4, just came back like a month or a year in Italy. Joe Summers, 1.2 million. That guy just blows me away. 1.2 million. Yeah, James Caldwell, 1.1 million. I'm so glad all y'all are here present with these awards. McKeachern Real Estate Group, I see Cam over there, 3.2 million. Hey, the Peters team, anybody else? I see Austin down at the Peters team, 3.3 million. Congrats. I see y'all in the house. I see 1, 2, Kerosene, 3.2 million. Peters Company, 2.9 million. Yeah. Come here. What did he call me? Okay, listen, don't, what did you call me? You said, "What's up, stud?" What comes after that? Thank you. So I said that to him and he was so offended he about beat me up. 2.2 million last month. Congrats, brother. I got totally embarrassing me, but it's really good. Family Homes, 1.3. I see KJ. Where did you go? Right there. $1 million last month. Here goes the awards for single age individual. Here we go. We're going to start off with age of the month, closed units. Carlos, age of the month, closed volume. Yeah, let's go through them and then we'll just go all big.
Oh, make clap. There's a good idea.
Closed volume for October. Mona, congratulations. Listing units for the month of October. James Cardwell. Ooh, listing volume for the month. I don't have Terry Ehrlich.
My name.
Oh, I know, but I want to give you your daughter. Congratulations on that. All right, written units, James Carswell. Written volume, James Carswell. And GCI, Carlos. Love to have a clap now for all of them. I have all your awards down here. If I'm running back and forth. Tim, closed units, McKeachern Real Estate Group. Congratulations. Closed volume, McKeachern Real Estate Group. Listing units, the Rios Delgado Realty Group. Yeah, listing volume for the month, Rios Delgado Realty Group. Written units, Rios Delgado Realty Group. Written volume for October, there's some ties in it too. The Juniper Real Estate Team. Who is that? Why did I not have that one?
Put me on the spot.
Okay, I apologize. If that's you, I apologize. McKeachern Real Estate for total GCI. Congratulations, yeah. All right. All right, closed units for the groups. The Kairos team, look at them over there, yeah. The Peters team, closed volume. Listing units, the Peters team. Come back to where we're done. Listing units, the Peters company. Y'all are confusing me. And listing volume, Legacy Property Group. Written units, the Kairos team. I did a team meeting for them last week. They got a dose of me after hours. Yeah, here we go. Written volume, the Kairos team.
And total GCI. Kayla. The first people is I had a great vision to open up the first bilingual Keller Williams in all of Keller Williams, the #1 company in the world, by the way. We have signed our lease on our new building and should start construction very soon. Congratulations.
Jennifer Real Estate Group is Tyler.
Perfect. I love that. I love he's a rock star. Okay, congratulations. So now you go look while I bring my guest up. I need my guest, and you have that sheet of paper with you.
No, I didn't.
Crap. Okay. Okay. As you do that, come here. I've got to go get it real quick. Come up and Matt, song and dance real quick. Everybody stay with us.
Yeah, please don't do that real quick. You guys are just gonna have to look at all my stuff on here real quick. And the mouse was not like. There we go. That's what you downloaded, because it worked on here yesterday. Yeah.
I got it. Okay, Matt, you have a seat. Okay, so some of you know, some of you don't know, Matt started pretty much the day COVID hit. Yep. We walk into the office, Stanley brought him on the team, and I shut the office down. Yeah. And he's like, we didn't even really know each other. We've done some interviewing, but really didn't know. And the world was changing. So me and Matt were talking. I remember where I was at my house, walking in the backyard, pacing, going, oh Lord, here we go. Thinking, oh wait, here we go. I said, Matt, I need you to write down your goals and I need to see what you have, what those goals are. This is your goals. So I asked you to do a 1, 3, 5. The reason I'm doing this is that you're goal setting now. Maybe you've done it already. Maybe you've done vision boards. You're doing with Terry, or you're doing with your family. This is not hokey stuff. When you get laser focused, why am I doing the 201? You get laser focused. Next year, I want to do $1 million profit. I am not going to hide that. I want to do that. I'd love to pay $1 million in profit share. We will pay $1 million. So I focus on that. What I want you to do is focus on what your goals are and go big, dream big. So I'd ask Matt to do that. So how was that experience? And had you ever done that before?
No. Goal setting for me since the beginning of my career was just I wanted to financially beat out the year prior. And that was really the only goal that I set for myself. Was kind of zone in on one thing. It was family, home, business, and then also investing. So this was a lot broader than what I was used to kind of setting from a goal standpoint.
Right. So how many units would you like to sell next year, Joe? 30. 30 homes. That's what you're going to sell. You're going to sell 30 homes. What's the average sales price? 400. So somebody do the math. That's 12,000 times 30. 360. 360. That's on your number, right? So you're going to focus on 360 next year. You're going to focus on units, and that's what you're going to make. That's how much money you're going to make. Okay. So you do 135. You did it for me.
Yes, sir.
You sent it to me.
Yes, sir.
So about a week ago, he goes, Mike, I went back to the email I sent you 2 years ago, and I'm blown away of what we've been able as a team to achieve. So if you'll go through that with us and tell us about it.
Yeah, I probably should have printed this out, posted it next to my screen, so I was looking at it, but very obvious that me putting this together, it's stuck in my head because I started going through it, and of course we're on year 3 now, and highlighting the stuff that actually came to fruition kind of blew my mind.
Yeah, read them out. What did you have on there?
And so year 1, I had 2 big trips with my family, Beaver Creek skiing and Bahamas beach trip that came to fruition. Year 2, needed to redo my back deck. And I wanted it built for entertaining. That came to fruition. Year 3, I had pictured a white Volvo XC90 for my wife. She was driving around a clunker that was paid off, and have a daughter, so I wanted to make sure she had a car that is safe. We ended up going with the white Audi, but that's
not a bad change.
That's neat to check off the list. And then what was crazy is year 4, which obviously hasn't taken place yet. I had Pebble Tech pool, which we'll see if that comes to fruition, but. When that comes to fruition, but the second part was trip to Europe. And my brother ended up, he works for a publicly traded company, he's done well there. There was an opportunity for him to take a job in London, which he did earlier this year, and now we're planning on going to see him in London, so we'll go to Europe, and that hasn't even taken place yet. So it's pretty awesome.
We don't know what gets you to that place, it just gets you there.
Yes.
Somebody knows, but you just don't know.
Yep, and then for business, year one, which Stanley and I looked when I first joined, there's a ton of teams that have been, I think, in their offices that they've been together for a lot longer than we have. That being said, asking to be ranked top 3 the first year, that was kind of a big feat. I mean, Stanley looked at me like, man, I don't know if you know how this works, but that'll be tough. We ended up third the first year. The second year, I wanted to be the second team, wanted us to be the second team within shelter. We ended up not hitting that goal. We were third. But then year 3, which is this year, ranked the number 1 team in shelter in total volume closed, and that's coming to fruition this year. It's pretty awesome. I don't know. I thought about you said it yesterday, and I'm like, I don't get nervous a lot. I just feel humbled even sitting up here, and yeah, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, so do you feel like moving forward that you can actually think bigger? This reason we put that in, you can dream bigger. So when I say, like, if I had went to Joe just now and said, how much money are you gonna make? I can bet you he would have not said 360. Would you have said 360? Tell the truth.
You're gonna be,
How much money are you gonna make next year? Would you have told me $360,000?
I would have looked at us when we did this, but now you say it's 360 and then.
And it makes you go, So that's what I want you to do. I want to stretch you guys. I want to stretch you in your goals. Don't go small, go big, go real big. Things are gonna happen, things are gonna come through, and some might not. Have a goal, 1 through 10, and what you want to accomplish. If you accomplish 1, did you accomplish something? You did. But I want you to think bigger and dream bigger. Even in this market, I just pulled out millions who did 3.3. So the possibility is there. It's there for sure. So I've challenged Matt. I want you to kind of stop what you're doing. There was a 135, he's working towards the 5-year. He's actually accomplished all that. So I want you to cut it off. I want you to do it again and do another 135. And now I want you to go bigger. Right? We're gonna do the pool this year. Mom needs a beach house, right?
Yes,
Okay, we might be having more kids, right?
God willing.
Okay, yeah, that's right. He knows, right? So you have a lot of things to work for, because now that you see the possibilities, right, you can go and achieve those. That's why I say vision boards, and what Terry's class was, is it's so important that you can see it, visualize. I can tell you this, I remember sitting down with Stanley, and their goal to James Williamson, I think was 75 or 76 million. That year they closed out 86 or 87 million and ended up second or third. This year I said, let's go to 102, because I know 101 was the winner last year. How do we beat them? So we had to go 102, 110. And they're number 1. Does that make sense? Okay. What you want to add to that?
I mean, putting it on paper is one thing. I just thank you, everyone in this office who's given us an opportunity. I'm smart enough to know that it's not just me writing it now, it just comes to fruition. You guys have had a huge part in our success, and we're extremely grateful for you guys. So it's helped a lot of stuff that I had goals for myself come to fruition. So thank you all.
Here you go. Thank you. You guys get involved in charity. It's fantastic and it feels good.
Sir.
All right, man, I'm proud of you. Hey, all right, so here's the video.
Now, just give me a second back then.
Let me tell you how good he is. You just have to like talk about him all the time, and y'all are gonna get like I'm good. I'm gonna tell you how good he is. I had an appointment at 10:30, and you notice he just disappeared. You know he's sitting with my homies. That's what leaders do. That dude. So if you ever just pay him about your thing, because he's amazing. It makes me tear up how much his heart is.
seconds, so I can get to where I can share my screen.
And who are you partnering in business with? These are great people to be in business with. Do video, Matt Mason's hilarious. Yesterday was like the day in life of a realtor. He's like, I'm going on an appointment. Hey, and they call and cancel him at the last minute. And he's like, okay. And then I think it was Nikki that canceled on you.
Yeah.
And then Richie, I mean, you guys are just awesome. It's so funny. And Matt's really just made it fun. I mean, yeah, he's just down and Richie's like, he's like, this house is awesome. We're like, this is. Oh. By the way, you were talking about my furniture over there, and I don't appreciate that. We got to go on. All right, we ready?
I'm trying to figure out how to share. It's fine. It's not up there for Zoom land.
I mean, ugly cute. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a problem with that. Let them keep you working. I love it.
I just don't know if y'all will be able to hear it when it's not in Zoom.
This is great.
Yeah, we have started with today. What is Brand Center on? We're going to talk about the hot topic right now, which is interest rates.
So as I'm sure all of you know, interest rates have been rising for the past 6 months. However, today is starting our third consecutive positive day in a row. It's the first time that's happened since July. That's good news in the mortgage market. However, even with the rise in interest rates, there are a lot of creative products and programs that we have at Shelter to tailor to you and your needs to help you get the thing. But if you need any help or have a question about that, reach out.
Let's get you in contact with someone at Shelter to reach out to them for more information. Hi.
So we're voting for Tony, Allison, right? Is that who we're voting for? Okay, so where did Renee go?
She had to go to the appointment.
Okay.
Everybody have to be trained. I'm sorry that did not work out the way.
Yeah, well, but that's okay. We have to live it every once in a while.
Did we see? Yeah, that's a yes, you need to vote for yourself. You work. And
Yes, our winner today. We wanted to bring Hunter on.
Alex, and Allison.
That's no miss that. Let's go on national and bring my phone.
Which one?
One.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's happening.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, while she's doing that, Naya will come up. And sometimes y'all might hear me call her Naya. I have this code with her. She allows me to do that. Here's another thing we're gonna be doing. She's interviewing right now on when we do Ignite. We're gonna have a new instructor bringing Ignite to and she is interviewing. I don't want her class and feel better for the rock star educator.
So on that note, I want to let you guys know, I do have a class, I taught it, I think last month, and I'm continuing to have like this, it's called for the closing table. Yeah. So there'll be, I think it's, front desk, I'm Jessica, you guys will have like a QR code to sign up for it, it's 11 to 2. And then it's a $35 CE cost, 3 hours CE, and I know that a lot of things are free in the office, so Jessica had a great idea, that the first hour is free. So if you guys want to just come and see if it's something that you are willing to pay $35 for, you are welcome to come this hour for free, but it is $35 if you stay for the entire time. We did have, it's really for newer agents, but we did have an agent that's been in the business for 8 years take it, and she said it's a great example that all agents should be there. So if you want to come by and look at that.
Well, I think you should, and absolutely.
Wednesday.
Within the 30th.
The third, next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
You know what time? It's 11 to 2.
And I will be doing it again. It's a CD pack that I wrote. It's based on my knowledge from when I struggled as a new agent. Getting our forms completed, being able to negotiate, right? You know, keeping a win-win, getting to the closing table. It's not that easy, right? After 4 years, it's easier for me, but in the beginning it wasn't. So I'm sharing all the tips and tricks on how to negotiate together.
All right, 9 beers, all right, let's go. How much on you come to work? 35 bucks, I mean, I get that, that's 2 gallons of gas, yes, ma'am.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm waiting on you.
I don't think I've ever done it.
Drum roll.
One got 9 votes, one got 10 votes.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Awesome.
But I really want.
Freak out, freak out. Thanksgiving.
Art, you're muted.
He's new
Can
on
you hear
Zoom.
us?
There you go.
Yeah, we were barely able to hear you guys. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, good morning, Chat North, and happy Gratitude Tuesday. It's another great day to be alive, isn't it?
Yes.
And first, a big shout out, round of applause for all the award winners. You guys are awesome, amazing, and rock. And we are thankful and grateful to be in business with you. And Mike, we are thankful and grateful for you, sir, because of your leadership and just how you inspire us and how you motivate us, how you challenge us and how you stretch us. And I plan on being on your stretch list in 2023, man. Let's go for it. Okay?
Thank you.
Yep. So just wanted to share a prayer actually today as we close out the meeting. It's a Thanksgiving prayer, okay? So let us just close our eyes and bow our head. Dear Lord, we thank you for the many ways that you bless our lives. We know that every good gift comes from your hands. And even though life is not always good, you are good all the time. We are grateful for your love and for your faithfulness and for meeting each and every need. Please bless, keep safe all who we hold dear. May we live with an attitude of gratitude each and every day of the year and never take anything for granted. We pray all this in your name. Amen. Think big, aim high, act bold. Peace and love, Chat North.
Everybody. Now we need to have like.